Good morning. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. Let's see. First off, thank you, Leo, for that musical offering. Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite movies, and I think that the theme from it is one of the most beautiful themes out of all the Ghibli films. So I really appreciated that. So growing up, I always watched, I watched cartoons. I watched stuff on TV. I also grew up playing video games. I play video games now too, but there's not a lot of free time as much as I was a kid, so I don't play as much. But it is something that I like to do to kill time. One of my favorite gifts that I remember as a kid was getting the Super Nintendo. So how many of you had a Super Nintendo? All right, yeah. Rishi knows. And so one of the games that I had was Super Mario World. So that was one that I like to play. I think that one has like come around. They've got like the retro ones now that you can just plug in. Sorry, maybe I was, am I speaking on? Can you ever hear me? Okay, yeah, so Super Mario was one of the ones that I loved to play, so I really got, to get to know this guy, Mario. He was cool. I don't know if you guys have seen him. He's like an Italian plumber, I guess. That's like the premise. And I don't know if any of you are plumbers, but he like jumps on turtles and runs around getting gold coins. Should have been a plumber. And as I got older, I had other game systems that I would play those too. And occasionally as I was growing up, I would play video games with my little sister. So I have a younger sister. She's 2.5 years younger than I am. And she would have her own things to play with. She'd have like dolls and stuff, and so she would play, and sometimes I'd play with her, and sometimes she'd play with me. And so one of the things that I liked to play was the video game system. So she would come over and she'd want to play too, see what was going on. We'd often play the cooperative ones, the ones where we would be on the same team and playing against the bad guys in the video game, because the skill difference was a little big. So if we ever played competitively, I would win a lot. And of course, this would make her unhappy. Because if she wasn't winning, then she would get frustrated, then she would cry, and I was the one that got in trouble. So, so I tried very hard to be conscious of how much I was winning in relationship to how much she was winning, because I wouldn't want her to get upset. And of course, I didn't want her to get upset. I wasn't that terrible a person that I was so cold that I only wondered about, if I was getting in trouble or not. But I did want her to be happy, I wanted her to have fun, and so I had to be conscious of how well I was playing, because if I played too well, then she wouldn't win. But I also wanted to make it fun for myself, so I wanted to, win also a little bit. This extended to other games that we would play as well. When we were little, my dad, my sister, and myself would go out, go to the playground, and we'd play tag. So everyone knows how to play tag, right? All right, one person's it, and they have to chase the other people, and there's all these different variations, like freeze tag, candlestick tag. I don't know. Kids still play this? No? Yeah? Okay. I think how the adults are playing. Oh, that's not like kids. So we would play tag, and of course, me being older and my dad being an adult, we could very easily outrun my little sister. So we'd have to make sure that we would slow down enough that occasionally, she would tag us, or we would be it, because if we'd be, running around and she wouldn't tag us for, it seemed like a short amount of time, but I'm sure it was like a couple minutes. She would sit down and she would cry. So again, we didn't want her to cry, we wanted her to be happy, so we'd have to be able to slow ourselves down so she could tag us. Same thing happened with like cards. I played a lot of card games, and I would deal out the cards, and kind of oddly enough, I got good at like cheating at cards. Not to win, but to lose. So I would deal out the hands, and I would make sure that I wouldn't get like a good poker hand, so that she would be able to beat me. And that way she was able to, I don't think anyone's ever gotten good at cheating so that they could like self-sabotage themselves. But lately, I haven't really been playing too many games or hung out with her too often, because we've been busy growing up. I went to college, and she actually she went to Santa Barbara, and then she ended up back in Berkeley, so I got placed in Fresno, and then I'm here. So it's a little bit closer now, but still, we haven't seen each other a lot. However, this kind of came to mind for me because recently I went out with another minister, and a friend of mine to this place called Round One Arcade. Has anyone been to a Round One? No? Oh, okay. Let's see. Has anyone been to Dave & Buster's? Yeah? Okay. It's kind of like Dave & Buster's, where they've got like a bunch of video games that you can play like in arcades. People know what an arcade is, right? That's still a thing? Okay. I don't know. So, this Round One was one that I wanted to go to because I actually didn't know that they had them in America. The first time I'd ever been to a Round One was when I was spending time in Japan. So I went there and it was a lot of fun, and coming to America, I wanted to go to a place that I could take this minister to because he was from Japan. So I figured he was probably, missing home a little bit, wanted to get a little bit of a taste of Japan, so I felt like going to this Round One would be a great experience for him. And it ended up being a good one. We got there and he was really excited because they had even some of the video games that they have in Japan. One of the games that's really popular is like the claw game. Has anyone played that one? Like, it's like a whole culture over in Japan where they'll set it up for you and then they tell you how to get it. You have to get it in like just the right place. And apparently, like if you mess up and it gets moved, you can go ask one of the people and they'll come over, they'll open it and they'll like fix it for you. And then they'll tell you, be like, yeah, this is what you have to do. They're probably thinking this idiot's been spending $5, $10, $20, how many dollars? Anyway, so the claw game, they have the like pellicula, the like photo booth that they have in Japanese things you can edit, it makes it really fun. And they had this one particular game that we started to enjoy, which was Mario Kart. So how many of you played Mario Kart? Yeah, okay. So Mario Kart, I had this old buddy Mario of mine, so I wanted to play that one. And essentially, it's a racing game where everyone's on go-karts and they're trying to get to the finish on one of these tracks. And so this particular game that we were playing was the one that you actually have a physical like seat to sit in. And you have the steering wheel, and like the gas, yeah, is that what that was? The gas and the brake. So you can do all that. So that was a lot of fun. And we were all sitting right next to each other. So it was myself, and the other minister, and my friend. So the three of us could see each other. We're playing, and they even have like this little like photo thing that you can take a picture of yourself so you can see where everyone is on the track. So that was a lot of fun. And it was really exciting because, it was pretty close. I was able to win a couple times, so I was having fun. The other minister was winning, so he was having fun, and I was glad that we were having a good time. However, after a while, I realized that it was just me and the other minister that were winning. And my brain, kind of goes back to this time when I was playing video games, I was playing with my sister. And I wanted my friend to have some fun as well. So for those of you that have not played Mario Kart, it seems like there's very few of you, but if you haven't, you're able to get these items to help you win. So there's different kinds of items that you pick up on the track, and some of them help you in the sense that you can get like a speed boost, or are there other power-up ones? The rocket, yes. The rocket. Okay, what's another one? The star, yes. All right, Evan? The shell. Okay, so yes, so not the shell. But there's other ones that you can use to hamper other people's performance, like the shell. There's, okay, what else? What was that? Paper mushroom. Banana, yes, the banana peel. Very good. Squid. What was that? The lightning. Oh, the lightning. So annoying. All right, so yeah. So there's these different items that you can get that you can use on the other players so that it can stop them. So if you fire one of these shells at the other players, then it kind of knocks them off for a while, so they have to recover, and then they can get back onto the track. Now for this one round that we were playing, ended up being like one of the last rounds that we were playing. It was myself, I was in second, and then let's see, the other minister was in first, and then our friend was in third. And we're coming around on the last lap, and we're reaching, we can see on the map that we're gonna go to finish. And I happened to get one of the, I think it was a red shell. So this is the one that can like follow the person in front of it. And as we're getting close, I shoot this red shell at the other minister, and he bounces off, so he falls off, and he's no longer in the lead. And I'm about to get into the finish, but then I kind of ease up off of the brake, or off of the gas. So then I start to slow down, and my other friend gets to overpass me, and he ends up winning. So he's really excited, he was happy about it, and I'm like excited for him. Even though I lost, I feel like, oh. But happy to see him be able to enjoy as well. You know, I'm sure he wasn't like a petty guy or anything, but just to see him be happy and be able to enjoy as well, it brought me really this great amount of happiness. So I don't know, how many of you have siblings? Wow, just about everyone. Okay, so how many of you have kind of a similar experience with this? Not nearly as many people. Sometimes, yeah. It's true, it's not all the time, it's only sometimes. So that's good. I think oftentimes when we have a sibling, it can seem almost like a nuisance, you know, if they want to tag along or play with us. It can be difficult to try to incorporate them into our lives, especially when it means that we have to kind of put our own happiness on hold. And this doesn't just apply to siblings, but really anyone in our lives. Anyone that wants to be a part of our life, we have to give up a little bit of ourselves in order to include them. But this isn't any kind of bad thing. In fact, I think it's a very wonderful thing. It's something that everyone should really try to appreciate and enjoy. I didn't realize it at the time, but my sister, you know, being such a crybaby, I'm just kidding. My sister, just being a human being and having feelings, it really taught me to try to empathize with other people. Understanding how she felt, understanding why she was upset, it really set this kind of groundwork for me to understand other people. And so for that, I'm really grateful that she was in my life from such an early age. Going into the rest of my life, it still affects me in such a way that I'm trying to constantly think about the feelings of other people. This is not to say that, you know, I'm a saint and I'm always thinking about other people, I'm always trying to, you know, help others, but, you know, I can be really selfish. You can just ask my wife. But it is because of her that I'm able to have these kinds of experiences. So I hope that everyone, as they go throughout their lives, they recognize all the people in their lives, you know, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a significant other, whether it's friends or other kinds of family, these people that are really like bodhisattvas in our lives. They're teaching us about the Dharma, they're teaching us about human relationships and just about the human condition in general. And it's up to us to really open our eyes to be able to see it, to put aside our own egos, to put aside our own selfishness, our own desires, to look at them and realize what they're thinking. And that's when we can begin to truly understand other people, when we can truly start to ease their suffering, and in the same way, ease our own suffering. Make them happy and make ourselves happy, just as I was so happy to see my friend win, even though I was losing. If you could all please join me in Gasho. Now, let me know.